want to kick things off here at Megyn Kelly Today with some of the stories that have caught our eye to help you start your day off, right? You need some cocktail party fodder. You need some dinner party discussion. Here's what you need to know today. Law & Order True Crime, the Menendez murders. It premiered right here on NBC on Tuesday night. Everyone's talking about it. Did you see it? I know. This case gripped the nation. Almost 30 years ago. Can you believe that? So I actually spoke to the older brother, Lyle Menendez, in a fascinating conversation direct from prison, where he is now serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. His brother Eric is as well. We're going to have the second part of that conversation later in the show, where I ask him, not only I talked to him yesterday, in addition to last week, what he thought of the series premiere and the portrayal of him, and I asked him to address what appeared to be an inconsistency between his testimony at trial and what he told me by phone. So, you know, I wanted to follow up because there appears to be a discrepancy.
Sure.
Specifically, at trial, you swore that you told your mother about the abuse. But to me, you claimed you never told her about the abuse. Can you explain the discrepancy?
Yeah, it's not a discrepancy. I never felt that I told my mother about the abuse. Certain things were happening that I was, crying about and upset about, and I complained to my mother in a vague way about it, and my father would undress us to beat us with this belt that Annie would undress me to do these sports massages, and she was thinking that that's what I was referring to.
But we will play you the actual flip-flop and let you decide, okay? Coming up a little bit later. In other news, are you sick of seeing only 20-somethings, perfect 20-somethings on the magazine covers in the grocery store? Yeah. Just as I'm loading up with a bunch of Ben & Jerry's, it's like this perfect, right? It's like, it's guilt-inducing. Well, thank you to the people at CoverGirl Cosmetics, which has just hired as its latest model, 69-year-old woman. A 69-year-old, yes, woman. The beauty company signed its latest ambassador, Mae Musk, and she is a force to be reckoned with, this woman. She's the mother of Elon Musk, yeah. So she's also a dietitian. She's a nutritionist. She has a 50-year history of modeling. She has 2 master's degrees. And she refuses to go quietly off into the night like we like to do to our aging women. Not always our aging men, but our aging women apparently need to get to the roadside, according to most of these beauty executives. And thank you, CoverGirl, for saying, no, beauty is ageless, and she's rocking it. So buy anything that shows her on it. Who here puts lemons in their water? Do you put lemons in your ice water? So I do it too, because I was told that it was healthy and it was going to help me live forever, but it is not, as it turns out. According to Clemson University food scientists, lemons might leave you with a whole lot of germs in your water that would counteract whatever health benefit you're getting. The scientists found that lemons and ice. Who here puts ice into their drink ever? Right, I know. Lemons and ice absorb germs from ice makers, from cutting boards, and even from bare hands. So if your bartender or your restaurateur cuts up your lemon without having washed his or her hands, and then you put it in your water, what are you drinking? I know. There you go. You're welcome. Prince Harry, you may have seen this. He's met his match. Yes, I know. People love Prince Harry. We love the royals. He met his match, not his girlfriend, Meghan Markle, who joined him at the Invictus Games earlier this week, but a 2-year-old girl who stole the show. Did you see this? And stole pretty much all of his popcorn. He was such a good sport about it. First, she got away with it for a while. And I love how her mom, look at the mom. The mother's completely amused. Her name was Emily. She's the daughter of former Invictus competitor Paralympian David Henson. She was hungry. Earlier in the tape, the mom notices it, and she's like, yeah, she's good, as long as she's not crying. Like, Prince Harry's got it. Anyway, he took it in stride. It was a sweet moment. All right, hard not to sing along in this next one. Earlier this week, 75 vets from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam were waiting in the St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Florida area. Now, they were about to board a flight to Washington, D.C. to tour the nation's war memorials, provided by the charity Honor Flight. That is when one of the vets, watch this, started playing God Bless America on a harmonica. Look what the vets did. Oh, isn't that sweet? This makes makes you feel something, seeing those guys who have served our country get up there spontaneously and have that moment, right? And have that moment. My mom worked at the Albany VA for her entire career, and you'd go in there and you'd see the World War II vets, and they would salute, it's just heartwarming. So, we want to know what's on your mind today. You've found out what's on mine. Let's get the conversation started. Who's got a question? Who is out there? Hi. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Stand by. Lynn from Fort Lee, New Jersey is up first.
Oh, hi, Megyn. I'm Judy from New York.
Oh, Judy, hi. Thanks to you.
My question is, now that Saudi Arabia has granted women the right to drive, what do you think's next for them?
Oh, I mean, could we be so bold as to hope for equal rights there? I mean, how long could it possibly take? I have a question for you in this audience, because somebody was just saying at an interview I did the other day, so, we women here in America, so we've achieved equality. And I said, have we? I'm curious what you think. Truly, to women and men in the audience, do you think that, in fact, women have achieved equality here? Raise your hand if the answer is yes. One hand, and raise your hand if you think the answer is no. That is how I feel, too. I just feel like we have such a long way to go. I mean, obviously, Saudi Arabia has much, much longer. But we gotta work on our own house, and we got a lot of things we can improve here. And Saudi Arabia, yes, progress, so good, but keep working on it. Okay, who else is here? Lynn, there you are.
I have a question. Hi, Megyn. The country seems so divided. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that, and what do you think can be done to bring the country together again?
Well, I mean, I believe in looking at each other with the most generous eye, through the most generous prism, if possible. And it's not always possible. But this is the approach I bring to my marriage, and it's the approach I bring to my life, and I think we're so quick now to view everyone through the most negative, pessimistic, awful lens. And then what do we get in result? Negativity and awfulness. And, I know we're so divided as a partisan, country in a partisan way, but I think it applies to Democrats and Republicans as well. Because it used to be in this country you could talk to your neighbor about politics, or you wouldn't demonize your neighbor for being a Republican or being a Democrat. And it seems like that we've lost it, and it leads to more anger in people's lives. It leads to less camaraderie and bonding with your neighbors and your friends. And all of that can be soul-crushing over time. So I feel like just use your most generous lens, and then people will start using their most generous lens on you. It's amazing how the love cycle feeds. So.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.